My GF jumped on my back today, yelled "Jetpack on," then farted. What weird stuff does your so do? She's so damn weird sometimes and rips ass like a dude. But I guess she keeps it more fun than the girls I normally date. LMAO. What weird, fun stuff does your so do? Edit. Leave for a few hours, come back and we at 666 karma. Fitting. Sometimes I yell across the room, blanket mode activate. And she'll come running and promptly lay on top of me. My, currently pregnant, wife will sometimes randomly just go, Kaya, and do a goofy spinning kick when I walk into a room she's in, but usually only when it's us two home. Well, I was in the bathroom and my father-in-law walked into the kitchen and she thought it was me, so my tiny, big-bellied wife went, Kaya, and Chuck Norris'd her step-dad as he walked through the doorway, then almost peed her pants laughing about it. His only response was, "You seem to be energetic today." My girlfriend pushes her head against mine until our eyes are almost touching and says, "I'm so close to you." She'll take my head in her hands, look deep into my eyes, and squawk mine. Like a seagull from Finding Nemo. Calls my phone and asks, "Is this the Krusty Krab?" Our cat farted on my girl's lap. Color me surprised when she paid the unsuspecting cat back with interest. Rip Fluffy. Died how she always lived, full of shit. Did you get any air? He did, but probably not the type you were referring to. My girlfriend grabs my butt, which is as flat as a pancake, and sings, "Butt butt, wiggle wiggle, everybody watch me jiggle." My wife will quack like a duck in the shower if she knows I'm in the bathroom too, and will continue to do it until I quack back. If I'm lying about something for comedy's sake, she'll break out the truth seeker, where she'll jam her fingers into my neck to hit a soft spot that tickles way too much and continue doing it because she's a sadist. The truth seeker will find out what's real. She, 5'4", like to play wrestle me, 6'6", and it always ends with me laying on top of her playing dead. My girlfriend grabs my flaccid punisher and proceeds to yell, "Squishy," in a overly high voice. To this day I still don't know how to feel about it. She imaginary stabs me. I'm serious. She bangs my chest pretending she is holding a knife. Edit. People will probably think this is fake, but she has told me she has dreamed of murdering people. She says it was in self-defense though. Perfectly normal, perfectly healthy. Was getting it on my girl and she found this one chest hair that was randomly way longer than all the others and ripped it out while I was on top of her. When it happened I just froze, looked down at my chest. Then looked her in the eyes, who was just staring back, and then we both cracked up realizing the ridiculousness of what she had done. When we meet she'll basically run at me and jump into the air expecting me to catch her. Luckily I don't skip leg day. She'll also run and dive on me when I'm laying in bed. She cheats on me with her best friend. What a weirdo. Rips ass like a dude. You don't know a lot of women, do you? Wait till he gets hit with a period fart. My GF will be halfway asleep on the couch, and as soon as she gets up to go to bed she gets the zoomies like crazy. I play hide under the sheets in bed, and there is this split second where I don't hear her running around and I think, oh shit, she's airborne. Then she lands in bed and starts laughing. Also, she has this weird thing where she sings the Cold Miser, Heat Miser song before bed while doing this weird voice, and it is hilarious. I think your GF might secretly be a cat. He grabs one of the many stuffed animals we have and makes them wave goodbye to me when I leave for work. He'll bang on the window if I don't return the gesture. Yesterday one of the Sasquatches, fell off the windowsill and died and floated up to heaven. Today was the goat, and it was a quick wave because he was running late. I'll add he's 44 years old and we have no children to justify having these creatures around. Lol. Edit. Ah, thanks for the reward. I'm glad our inability to grow up brings people so much joy. Lol. I'll appreciate it a little more tomorrow morning on my way to work. Single now, but my ex drives with her left foot controlling the brakes and her right foot controlling the gas. Gives me anxiety just thinking about it. She burps, and will apologize if it is a weak one. She does a little dance when she gets food and likes to balance stuff on her head when she's bored. She's a dork. I'm 24 and single, but I love this thread and it makes me wish I was with somebody. Kinda happy to read it all, kinda sad too. Makes seagull noises to greet me when I'm back from work. If I sit next to my wife, she thinks it's hilarious to set her hand down with her thumb facing upwards right under me and says, "Cornhole." My ex had a sheltered life. Very Christian upbringing. Her parents would have to pre-watch Disney movies to make sure they were appropriate before she could watch them. That kinda thing. So she hit a rebellious phase, enter yours truly. She loved sex but knew nothing about sex. She was completely unfamiliar with the names of various sexual positions, so she just made up her own names for them. It wasn't just the position, but context, speed etc. all combined for a unique name. So if you knew her terminology, you knew how to give it to her, at what speed, angle, etc. She also gave them cutesy names. For example, the horsey, cowgirl position, was subdivided into the slow-trotting horsey, the galloping horsey, and hurdles. You can imagine what each of those looked like, lol. But her favorite was sleepy time snuggle fuck, where the big spoon enters the little spoon slowly from behind while she's half asleep. She was also a fan of the puppy chow, cunnilingus with her on her back, so named because from her vantage point I looked like her dog burying its face in its food bowl, lol. I did mention that there was some standardized terminology, but hers were more descriptive, so we ultimately went with that. My girlfriend likes to pretend to fuck me like a man. Either doggy or missionary or whatever. She'll even slap my ass or grab my imaginary boobs while doing it. She's also bent me in ways I didn't know I could bend. There's something funny about this, but I just can't quite peg what it is. At any point in the day, regardless of where we are, a slow-motion imaginary gunfight will break out. Invisible grenades and missile launchers are inevitable. We don't hold back, it continues until one victor remains. Typically decided by who had the best performance. Our kid is profoundly embarrassed by this. He needs to lighten up. My GF, 5 feet 2, tries to football tackle me, 6 feet 1, then bounces off and starts laughing uncontrollably. He gives me baby kisses. Just open mouth up against the cheek with no lip movement. Basically just touches his open mouth to the side of my face for 1 second. Like a baby. It's weird but I love it. Ex-GF used to ride horses. She would jump on me when I was laying down, wrap her legs around my midsection and arms around me neck. She would squeeze her legs and crush my insides until I begged for mercy. If you have ever dated a horse girl, you know what I'm talking about. Emergency situations. I started this game with my BF. We go dead weight to see if one can save the other. He has died every time except for when he went dead weight on a blanket. Whenever my husband has to go number 2, he will stand up and say something to the effect of "I must go and evacuate my bowels," while making a lot of eye contact. My GF regularly tries to push me into bed for cuddles. Given that I'm 100 plus lbs heavier over a foot taller than her, she doesn't get very far with her efforts. I usually wait until she's exhausted trying to move me before theatrically taking a dive. LMAO, I love it. I wish I was small and light enough to do that. Well, she's 6 feet and lifts as her biggest hobby, so she's not exactly small by any standard. I'm just 6 feet 5 and played sports a lot growing up, so I'm not small either. LMAO. So you won't be making 5 feet tall people. The kids will be 5 feet tall. At 8 years old, I got tall friends, with people asking, why is the 6-year-old still in a diaper? Because he's only 3. Have you met the parents? Popped my butt pimple once. It hurt like hell to sit, so she offered to pop it for me. It seems she enjoyed inflicting pain on me. Slite. Humans aren't that far off from certain kinds of primates, and that's pretty standard grooming behavior. Humans are primates. Where do I even begin with her? When she farts, she'll come running from another room to tightly hold my hand as if giving birth and just let it rip. Before drinking, she'll do a quick, amphibian-like lip lick and then slurp. She consistently speaks in gibberish that she's completely made up that somehow I've started understanding. I love her to death, and these little things she does melt my heart. She'll grab my thumb or finger like it's a penis and start stroking and making exaggerated sex sounds. Think, yeah, you like that, don't you? She's not horny or wanting to get it on, she just knows it makes me uncomfortable and does it to mess with me. Sometimes we'll be in other rooms just doing our own thing for a bit and then one of us will get bored or want to hang, so we will randomly meow, and the other meows back or comes into the room. Girlfriend sometimes runs on all fours, while facing the ceiling, and snarls like a gremlin demon creature while chasing me through the house.